Insert Creedence Clearwater Revival song. What? Or Fly to the Valkyries.
Sure.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Atomic Mass Transmissions Live. If you're not here already, you're LAAT to the party.
I would clap, but I'm holding a microphone.
Boom. For the past couple weeks, I've been working on a converted LAAT, LE for my clones, because I love my clones, for Star Wars Legion. So while we're painting it, I'll go over and explain like what I did and what I was thinking about and sort of how I cheated. I totally did cheat. And we'll just talk about the fun conversion and what I was thinking, and we'll just paint up a LAAT because I'm excited. I've been waiting to paint, like I got a crashed one. We did that thing with the crashed vehicles. I painted the crashed LAAT and I was just like, I need to add this to my clone force. So this is exciting. It's been waiting. Boo, don't boo me. That was a good joke. Shall we begin? Good evening. Eager to see how this LAAT is looking. Hey all, Mr. Rich. Pally Sass. Like sassafras. So this is where I'm at. I just put I got my LAAT all together. Left the cockpit off. We can talk about if anybody's curious how I'm going to deal with the clear cockpit. Threw some magenta and blue lighting in there because I love that idea. And so when you get that on there, it'll look like it's glowing in there. Threw a little magenta up in the open bay. Got some nice rope coiling down, like a clone is just repelled, and we got our two clones providing covering fire out of the hatch for our, I just imagine this LAAT is like hovered in. Some clones are repelled out. These commandos are so good at their job, they're just providing covering fire. These are converted from the clone commandos. Obviously, there's not two crouching ones, so I had to chop a second pair of legs up, do a lot of work. And then this crouching one is not aiming the blaster. He's doing the commander, because he's the commander miniature, is the kneeling one. Do I need to move?
No, you're good. I just want to zoom in on your.
We'll zoom in. So the kneeling one is doing the like hold. He's the leader. So I had to like get a new set of arms and have him scoping. This fella, this clone, he's so good. He's hip firing that sniper. So I had to use some different legs, chop them up, different arms, chop them up to get them posed. So I had two crouching ones in there. They turned out okay. Kevin asked me, he's like, why didn't you leave the back over? And I'm like, oh, because this other side open so you could get in there. And I was like, oh, because the back side of these conversions are a mess. Like the arms are barely connected because like, I just got the arms to fit. They just need to look good from the front. They don't need to look good from the back. So did not care. I just let it roll.
These are not the arms you're looking for.
Nope. I just put the arms on and like they are gappy and they're barely cut proper, but they're on and the poses work from the front. And that's all I cared about. So let's get the paint. You hide the crimes. Yeah, you hide the crimes. I know. So it's a really fun conversion. It was a nice little like challenge to kind of just get in there and sort of just start chopping some bits up, and I planned from the beginning that the back would be closed or the other door would be closed. So I knew that I could be more loosey-goosey, as they say, with those conversions, and they just need to look good from one angle. And honestly, it's so dark in there, like they're probably not super great from the front. Like I'm sure Marco would be like, oh, that's not the way the shoulder would actually work. And I'd be like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm doing my best. I'm not a sculptor. So I airbrushed my base color on. And if you've joined in before, when I painted my clones, you know that I have a special clone color I made. It's just my own special mix. It's just a couple colors that I mixed together and really like the look of. And then I used this warm gray tone to start my shading. I usually go pretty heavy on this stage. Is the LAAT fixed to the base or can be slotted on off? I glued the flight stand into the belly of the LAAT. Because that's the way I roll. I know some people probably leave the LAAT. Oh, what's that? Veggie sushi. Oh, see, hear that? Veggie sushi. It's how I roll. Hey, you should have heard the one I did earlier. I was like, thanks for joining us. If you haven't joined us already, you're LAAT to the party.
Oh,
Hey, got him.
knee slapper.
Got him.
Send help.
Chad didn't appreciate it either, so, you know, whatever. Yeah, keep booing me. That's going to help. That's what helps.
You see
Boo.
what happens when you boo me.
Yeah,
You
boo
see.
me. Do it. What's a lot? I've seen what you people love. I get really wishy-washy on when I'm doing vehicles. I like a rough and tumble look. I think of the shading, like especially on like these big surfaces, right? The shading is more like dust and dirts and grimes, right? Because like on big vehicles, you don't get real heavy shading, right? It's all has to do with like the light and the dust. It all catches it. Yeah, contractually obligated to find such things funny. Yeah, I agree. I'm a dad too. I'm contractually obligated to tell those sort of jokes. I think my kid would appreciate it though. When you make a mess, you just wipe it off and you get rid of it all. Chick popped in, and that's why I had to tell the joke again. He popped in and brought me some delicious sushi, apparently. Vegetable sushis.
When you're done with the sort of section that you're working on right now, could you turn just like the top of the LAAT towards the camera so people can see? Awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's always so tricky to do on camera because, like, it's a great big old ship. And the camera's, like, wanting certain things, and I'm wanting certain things, and I still have to paint everything, and you can't see everything. I haven't added anything really to my clones in a while. I had to go back and watch some videos, and because I forgot my recipe book at home, I had to go back and watch some videos and be like, how did I paint my clones? I don't remember.
Reverse engineer your own work.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, watch another video. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's the step. Oh, yeah, I forgot I did that. Interesting. Bold move, Dallas. Bold move. Past Dallas had no idea what he was doing. If you got questions, ask. Everybody's so quiet today. This is the whole underside of this one color, right? Because it doesn't need to be shaded. Or it doesn't need like light and dark. It just needs to be one color on the bottom. When creating your plan of attack to paint this, what have you identified as do first? Will be tricky. Worry about this and do first. Get the whole painted is my first step, right? You can probably see in the background the saber tank. Can they see that in the background? Like at least like sort of.
Can.
Okay. Like you can see my saber tank I painted for my clone army. My clones are my own sort of custom squadron, and so I have my own personal paint scheme, yada yada yada. And so I don't know where the black accents are gonna go yet, because I just haven't thought that far in advance. There you go. So I got the black accents and the teal. I got little skulls and the little symbol that I came up with for them and all that stuff. So on the LAAT, I literally have no idea where I'm going to put the black. So that just means I have to paint all the white. Like I need to paint all the white and get a feel for where I want stuff. And then I'll create this sort of idea for like, well, what does the black look like? The tricky part is always the canopies and the interiors. And I knew going in that those were the tricky parts. So I came up with a plan to like ignore them as much as possible. Like I really, I mean, it's just true.
So I came up with a plan that is to not include them in the plan.
Yeah.
And avoid them at all costs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the plan, kids.
Very relatable content.
Yeah, I mean, look, we always talk about like the destiny of a miniature, and the destiny of this LAAT is my LAAT that goes on the game table when I play a game of Legion with my clones, and it doesn't got to win an award. It doesn't got to impress anybody. It needs to look cool for me, and so therefore, I determined I did not want to spend a bunch of time on the interiors. So that's why I that's why I closed the back, right?
Yep.
I closed the back. I did a mediocre conversion on 2 clones. And it's going to stay dark in there. And I'm just going to blurb some paint on there and highlight and accentuate what you feel like you need to see. Totally. The secret of painting is telling people what they see, right? It's the famous like Dadaism art, right? This is a pipe, right? Or this is not a pipe. It's a painting of a pipe, because it's not a pipe. You tell people what they see, but they don't actually see anything, right? That's what art is. I tell you what you see. So I'm going to tell you there's clones in there. They're not going to be well painted clones, but you're going to be like, oh, there's clones in the LAAT, and that's it, done. What other dark and mysterious secrets are hidden in your recipe book? Oh. Well, I could, but I won't. Amazing advice. I feel that I've been avoiding painting my Darth Maul just because I don't want to be stressed about painting his head. Well, yeah, and that's reasonable. Like, but the whole, like, what's the point of your Darth Maul? May I ask? Are you trying to win an award? Are you trying to get paid by a studio to paint the Darth Maul? Like, the answer is likely no. The Darth Maul is there to be painted, and that's it. It's to be painted. It's a hobby to have fun doing the thing. I know plenty of painters that are wonderful, and they paint as their point of stress release. And they don't got to be great. They don't got to be amazing. They don't need books written about them and stuff. It's their hobby, right?
Sometimes it's just about the joy of a new skill.
The joy of a new skill, trying something out, getting something done, like just having fun and and then, like we talk all the time, right? The fun of miniature painting that makes it so different is when you paint your Darth Maul, and you might not get the lines, the red lines perfect, and that's okay. My Darth Maul is not painted perfect. If I was painting for the studio, right? If I was doing a studio paint job, I have to make it perfect. I have to. But for painting for myself, I don't have to. The only thing I have to do is, like, if you brought your Darth Maul to a convention and put it on a table across from me, I'd be like, hell yeah. I almost cussed real hard. I almost dropped a real cusser. It's just like, dude, dope. Like, look at that Darth Maul. Let's fight. Like, oh, this is gonna be epic. My Ahsoka is coming for that Darth Maul. Like, I hope they meet in the middle of the table and battle it out. You know? Like, I want to tell a story. I want to have fun. And because you spent time painting that Darth Maul, that makes it awesome. That automatically makes that Darth Maul an awesome Darth Maul. Right? Like I said, is it going to win an award? Maybe not. Is it gonna be, studio level or display level? Maybe not. But is it gonna be awesome and tell an awesome story on the table to play a game with? Yes, it is. 100%. And as long as you have fun, as long as we have fun playing the game, as long as we tell a cool story, you have done an excellent job. Soapbox over. Like, it's just a totally different mentality when you have to paint for a studio. Let me tell you, like, it's a different set of painting skills. It's a different philosophy. It's a different approach to the painting, and it's just not about being the best and kicking butt. And it's a fun game and a fun hobby. And we should all get together and do it. And that's what's fun. Paint for fun. And then if you want to, right? That's where you get to, like, if you want to get good, like, you want that moment where you're like, well, I really want to paint for realsy reals. Then you have to start asking yourself questions. When I say realsy reals, I mean, like, professionally or something. You have to start asking yourself questions. Like, well, what does that mean, though? Do you know what that means? And then how do you get there? And what do you need to do to improve? And then really be critical about what it means to improve. Self-criticism and getting critiques is an important part of becoming a professional. So those are important things to learn, right? And spending 40 hours on a single miniature, right? Like, woo, it's a trip. See, we're just gonna slap some of this wash in there. Oh, my rope stays secure. I got that rope. I ordered this rope. I was looking for some good rope. Found some good rope. Ordered it 2 weeks ago to do this conversion, and it showed up last night at like 6 o'clock. And I was not at home. And I had to rush home at the end of the night and glue that rope on for today's stream. And I was totally freaking out that it wasn't gonna, because I couldn't get the glue on. It just wasn't sticking. And I'm not sure why. I think I was using like super thin glue instead of like regular super glue to make the rope stick. And I think my super thin was just old and it just did not want to do anything. So I was like, full panic. But it's in there. Hopefully it stays in there. Maybe it won't. Who knows? I know it's always so hard to see everything in these streams, isn't it? Here comes Ann. I'm real messy sometimes, and that's okay. I actually have learned to I've actually learned to like and enjoy a more wishy-washy, loosey-goosey paint style. It's way more freeing. You see so many paint jobs online that are just like super crisp and like, I just spent 80 hours painting this, and I'm like, I just spent 5. And there's something real fun and freeing about that, because I used to be that person that spent all those hours. And I'm just to the point now where I'm just like, I just want to paint for fun and get my my war dollies. Kel, bring me my war dollies. Bury me with my war dollies. Do your inspirations for conversions come from gameplay, movie scenes, or others? I don't have a locked, this is where inspiration comes from. I try to be open to inspiration at all times. And I've realized over the past couple years, like, definitely playing video games is a very good point of like creativity for me. Just by turning my brain off effectively. Sort of like shower brain, right? Do you know what shower brain is? And do you know what shower brain is, right?
I've never heard that term.
Shower brain? You know when you like all day long, you can't come up with a solution to something or an answer to something. You get in the shower and the hot water hits you and the brain turns off.
Shower brain.
Shower brain.
I thought you said shatter brain, and I was like, that sounds very dangerous.
Shatter brain. That's our next game.
That's what happens when you paint too much. You get shattered.
You get the shatter brains. But you stand in the shower and you like let the day flow away, and then suddenly it's like the idea, like the thought and the answer, like so like you just never know. You just never know. One good thing to remember, the way we like to teach here is like any of these lessons are good for anything you're painting. So you should look for the nuggets and what you like in the lesson, and take it and apply it to the things that you want to apply it to, right? You know, I always try to say, like, when I do a paint stream, like, it's not about like today's stream, it's not about the LAAT. This could be about anything. The ideas, the philosophy, the conversation. It's for everything. Try stuff out. Do it up. We've been enjoying the evolution of characters throughout games. About a certain minion makes a great save, great attack, and thus inspires a conversion. That's always fun. I do love that style of, especially if you have like that locked group of players that is like super into like that idea. I used to play a lot of games that really sort of lived around that philosophy, and I had a group of players that we would do that sort of stuff as well. We're like, King Mung did this, and now I totally gave him a crown, right? And that's always super fun. And so you convert stuff up and tell the story with your gaming group, and tell that, that's so good. So now, because this thing is a jet-ish vehicle, I want to try to start. I want my streaks to move backwards. And this is very subtle. So I'm painting the paint on with a brush, and I'm using a damp brush to stretch that paint. And we'll do this more as we add more darker grime, but I do want to create like an initial foundational layer. And then when we do paint chips, ooh! Bow, 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 bow. It's very gentle. It's very gentle. Somebody said something about white armor, Takamas. You need to reword that. And then I'll talk about the philosophy that you want to discuss there. How did I prep the canopy to paint the gray? Oh, painting white is a pain. No, do you see any white on the table? Not a single drop of white paint is used for my white armor. Not a single drop of white, I do eventually, but currently not. All the clones and stormtroopers in the studio, we don't use white. We've made a couple videos about painting white, and the secret is you don't paint white. Like, white is the very, very end. White is color. You need colors. So you use grays, you use blues, you use greens, you use a bunch of different colors, and then that is how you create white. You come in at the very end and you highlight with white, and it's very, very easy. One Sarastro just did a paint video, he's done paint videos, but he did a paint class for us at Adepticon this year, where he went over, and I shouldn't have licked that brush, habits, where he goes over the philosophy and taught people how to paint white. We've done a couple of videos, but the big thing is don't go in with pure white, just straight out the pot and go for it. Use like this, right? This is this tank and this LAAT and my clones are done with like not a white. It's done with like a bluish color, and then I shade it with a gray color, and then I highlight it with a white, and then people go, oh, it's white. And that's the trick to painting white. So how do we prep the canopy, Mr. Rich asked? So I painted the inside. Obviously, it's not done. I got the clear canopy here. I got the parts glued together. I'm leaving it off. Woo! Hello. You should go back and find some of our videos where we paint white. I'm telling you, super helpful. Learning to paint white is just like painting any other color. You're just not using white. So this is liquid mask. I love this stuff. We've not used this on stream. People have seen the results of it on stream. I've never applied it on stream. It smells real bad. And the first layer doesn't ever want to stick to the way the clear plastic is. Because clear plastic has like a little bit of what's hydrophobic. It smells like ammonia. It stinks real bad. And I'm using an old brush. I'm never going to paint with this brush. If you were like me and super into horror movies when you're a kid, or even now, or dressing up for Halloween, you probably heard of liquid latex, or theater. It's basically liquid latex.
I was gonna say I use this stuff when I'm doing nail art, but probably whatever is approved a version of this that's approved.
Yeah, you don't want this on your skin, I don't think. Not this stuff. Liquid latex is for skin.
Right.
I don't think this is approved for skin. You can find this at many different hobby shops. And this is how I'm going to prep my canopy. So I'm going to get this on here on these little windows. And then I can airbrush the whole thing, and then this will peel away, leaving the clear glass. We did a video with Arnim Zola a while back, and people got to see the results of this, but I started the video with this already on the miniature. So I was just like, well, maybe today, like we'll just apply it, you know. Probably need a smaller brush for some of these windows, actually, in retrospect. I just grabbed an old brush, so. We probably won't do them all because I'll need a smaller brush to get these smaller windows. But I think it's interesting for you to. What's the drying time of latex before peeling? Read the label. I always say read the label. You might buy something that dries quicker than what I have. But my generic answer is I let everything cure for 24 hours. Done. Primer, glue. The rule of thumb is 24 hours. I like 24 hours. I don't try to. I break that rule all the time. But general smart is 24 hours. But obviously this stuff probably has like a work time of like probably 2 hours. Yeah, we want a smaller brush, but this is what I'm going to do, and then I'll prime this, and then I'll use a toothpick and give it a little rub. The latex will peel up, and then I'll have clear canopies. This is what it looks like. Oh, now my glove is ruined. It's so peely. Rules? You're talking to the wrong dude for rules. I don't make rules. I can't, you know why I can't make rules? Because I break rules. I'm just going to throw that brush away. All right. Back to the action. I don't have another glove in here, do I? Nope. Here we go. You don't want me making rules. No sirree, Bob. They would be chaos. They would be like, if you have a chicken, add an extra 2d6 to your dice. This game doesn't use d6. That's cool. Figure out the math, sucker. Can we see the saber? Sure. I think I painted this on stream as well. If you go back, you can find this on stream, I believe. So this is where we're going, right? Dingy, grungy, little chips, nicks. There's this like nice blue, the black accents, turquoise glows. Ooh.
It's a really clean scheme. Like that black, white, turquoise is great.
Look, it makes a skull face. How rad is that? It's like a raccoon skull. The most awesome looking of skulls. So awesome. Many people get them tattooed on their arm thinking they're wolf skulls. Which is my favorite thing in the world, really. I gotta be real honest. Look, all I need is Schick to give me permission and we'll have 18 Ghost Riders. Yeah, I'm liking the way this is shaping up. What's your thoughts, chat? I posted it Facebook group, Elysium, and I said, "What song do you hear when you see those clones poking out of the side of the LAAT?" So now I'm curious, like what chat thinks. What's the song they hear when they see those clones poking out the side of a LAAT? That LAAT coming in. There's clankers everywhere. I'm imagining like the second act of an epic trilogy. Any sections likely to be black now that I base coded ideas? No. I'll probably just YOLO it, to be honest. I'll probably just start painting black and see where it takes me. Sometimes it's fun to do that. It's a little dangerous, and if you're not practiced at it, it can be really scary. I'm usually not too afraid of messing up, so I do have a tendency to just kind of YOLO it sometimes. But a good plan does help, right? So I don't know, maybe like a stripe, like a zag. So like maybe the front of the, like this front area maybe black, and it comes down along this panel I could see, and then have to freehand across, and then maybe do like a cool Star Wars, like the way the line drops, and then finishes out. So you have like a heavy front, heavy back. So I don't know. I don't know yet. Yeah, I don't know yet. What's going to be the good parts to paint black? I don't know. Like I said, sometimes I just kind of YOLO it. Are the fence panels gonna be dark? Yeah, these just like the regular one, I'll do these areas black. Probably mix a little touch of blue in there will be nice. Especially because I have turquoise in my scheme, so bringing that turquoise in here and there is always good. So I might add a little turquoise to the black for the fins. It also gives them sort of a energy, sort of jive. Some freehand on the closed door. Yeah, that might be pretty cool too. Like do my symbol that I came up with, or some skulls.
People just want more nose art.
Nose art. Oh yeah. Yeah, nose art. We did some freehand what was it, last week? Wasn't it just last week? All those ideas could be applied right here. Once again, like the idea of our paint streams is they can be used for anything you're working on. Inspiration. What was Will's assessment of the building graffiti? It was red during my movie. I think the only thing I got out of him was you killed it. I think that was the only assessment I got, which is good. That's a solid chick assessment. Like I said, the underside I can get pretty loosey-goosey. Last 10 minutes. Gotta leave for work. Bye, TK. See you next week, TK. I used a little bit of that wash medium from Monument to like make this more translucent. So it kind of makes a glaziness, glazy washiness. Lets me move that paint around a lot, get where it needs to go. Push it down in the crevices. Apparently we only got a couple minutes left. So you better start asking your questions. You're gonna run out of time. And then you gotta wait another whole week before we see each other again. And you don't even know what I'll be painting at that point, because it's probably not gonna be the LAAT. Oh, next week? Oh, are we even having streams next week? Some of us aren't in the state.
We should talk about that after this.
How do I plan on tackling the? Oh, did I not talk about that? What part of the clear canopy did you miss? I applied the
liquid mask.
The liquid mask, and so then I'll prime it and then peel the liquid mask, and then I might do a little grunging on it. But that's really about it. It ain't much, but she's getting there. Panel lining. I do panel line, but it's at the very, very end. It's a dark color, and I don't do a lot of it. You can see on here, like I'll edge everything with a little dark color. I don't get super into it. I don't try to do super black panel lining. Don't like super black panel lining. Looks too contrived for me. And like if I miss a spot, I just let it. I let it just be missed. But yeah, I'll do dark lining with my dark shade, which will be the next step after this shade, which is just a dark gray. And then I'll thin the paint down. I'll get in there with the my super optic visors, and I'll just paint them in. There's a lot of really great tools out there for people who want to do panel lining. Some really wonderful panel lining materials that you just kind of touch to the panel line and it just flows all over the place. That stuff is really rad. I just paint everything in because I don't need it to be perfect by any stretch. I know I'm way off. I know.
You're okay.
I'm the worst.
No, you're fine.
I'm the worst. Let me be the worst.
Okay. You're terrible.
I am.
You're a bad boy.
Chad agrees, I bet. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
You just painted.
Yeah, I know. I get wrapped up in where I'm at, and I forget that the camera is in a certain spot, and hey. Oh, we're gonna make those black. I think those look really cool black.
The little fins.
Yeah, or at least the little hash lines in there will look really cool black. Doesn't matter if paint gets all over those internal parts. They're going to be painted black anyway, so it literally just doesn't matter. I think that's it. I think that's all this color. I think that's this color. Yeah, it's getting grungy. It's getting grungy. Are you thinking of doing any cool graffiti on this one? I don't know. Talk me into it.
Dallas, can you move it slightly towards you? Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I definitely, so like my clone force already has like skulls and this little triple diamond pattern and a 1 for the number 13. So I'll probably do something like that somewhere, maybe over here. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not in a rush to finish this. We'll see what happens. That'll be done on there, and it needs matching skull on your 13. Yeah, it needs all that stuff. Maybe it gets a piece of nose art. Maybe it gets like a little tiny piece like right here on this panel would be nice. I don't want to do like a big piece. The big pieces, I don't think the LAAT LE in particular, like on the nose, because it has the big funky canopy, but like some little things here might be kind of nice. Like some little B1 droid silhouettes X'd out, right? To be kind of cute. You could always do something here. So we'll see what happens. And as I work on it, I'll post pictures, like with all things. I when I work on them at home, I like to post pictures and see where we're at. I think that's it. It's wet. I can't move to the next step. There's no point. It's a mess right now, which is what I like. Oh yeah, that's the whole point. L, right? Is like it's I always say we like to teach people how to paint, not what to paint, right? How to paint, like all these lessons and inspirations can be used for anything. Thinking about painting, thinking about the approach of painting for whatever project you have, that's important. If I teach you what to paint, then I'm saying this is how you paint a LAAT, this step, this step, this step. But we did red armor on a Inquisitor a long time ago. Like those same philosophies can be applied right here. And then you take that red armor and you take the ideas of like what I'm talking about, like broad areas and not really thinking about shadows. You're thinking about the grunge and like the way the panels are. Like you combine that together, and now you're painting anything, right? It's anything you want. So hopefully that's helpful and inspirational. Everybody, yeah, gets the creative juices brewing. I like brewing and stuff flowing. It's like it's percolating, like a little burble, like thought burbles. We're just gonna call them thought burbles. No, you don't hate it? Thought burbles.
Just burbling up.
Just burp, 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 burp. Yeah, like when I drink a Coca-Cola. Oh, get all burbly. All right, take two. I remember every Tuesday and Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on Twitch. You can hang out. You can watch us paint some stuff and talk about the philosophy of painting and stuff like that. And for all the latest news, information, and announcements coming from Atomic Mass Games, you should check us out on Twitter and or Instagram. That's where we post the news and anything that we can talk about. Because if it's not posted there, I can't say a word. So until probably not next week, we'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye. And now I want to do a song about some clones in a LAAT, but I can only think of 1970s.